Grand Rising Beloveds. Happy Soulful Sunday. My name is Sheena with the Way of Namaste, and this is our community prayer circle. So, welcome, welcome. I've got the air conditioner running in the background, and hopefully you can't hear it. But if there is a little buzzing or a noise in the background, that's what it is. So, welcome, welcome. As always, we like to give it a few minutes, see who's going to join us today. So while we get settled in, we are invited to create a sacred space here. This may mean lighting a candle, burning some sage. My computer likes to turn off the video today for some reason. So we've got some little tech wizards in the field playing with us today. It is Gemini season, season of the sacred trickster. So electricity has that sacred trickster quality. So we're just going to set the intention today that we can get through this today without any big tech hiccups. So as we gather in sacred space, you may like to have something to drink. You might like to get some tea or some water or some cacao, something that you can allow to be present so that we are literally ingesting these prayers today. Today, just to set us up astrologically, we have the sun in Gemini, which is an air sign. We have the moon in Pisces, which is a water sign, which is the highly sensitive one of the zodiac. So bringing in that water element can be nice. I've got my Chocopilli's Dance. This is one of my favorite products. I know it's hard to see here. That is listed in our community marketplace. It is a ceremonial sage, a water sage. So it's a great purifier for just cleaning up the space. I use it as a daily fragrance. So just bringing in that water element. Today, that water element might be bringing in the emotions, the emotional realm. So as always, I like to pull a card, an oracle message for our calls and just see who wants to come through today. Today, when I asked my decks here, which I've got, I don't know, 42 decks, I've got a lot. It was Kuan Yin that wanted to come through. Kuan Yin, goddess of water, of the emotional realm. This is someone, if you've ever read the Sophia Code, this is one of the goddesses that are represented with her story on what her experience was like in early childhood, had a lot of traumas. And in those traumatic experiences and losing her family, she found herself in the wilderness, raising herself, completely traumatized by everything until this being shows up, and this being outside of time and space sits with her until they form a relationship with one another of trust, of compassion, of her understanding that maybe not every force on this planet is malevolent. Maybe there is some benevolence here. And with some time, with some patience, with some nurturing, there was a love that was expressed there. Through that love, there was healing. So Kuan Yin's story might feel very relatable to us. We may have been traumatized by life through our family situation, through a heartbreak, and needing some time and space to regroup from that experience and learn to trust again. So today, while we're in the highly sensitive waters of Pisces, may we give ourselves a pat on the back for how far we've come. Let us honor ourselves by nourishing ourselves in ways that feel good. If there's a trigger that has been coming up this week, can you sit with that trigger? Can you actually ask yourself, when is the first time that I felt this negative emotion? Can I go back inside that memory and can I recode that memory by bringing in my now version of who I am into sitting just like Kuan Yin's beloved did, to be a witness to whatever that younger version was experiencing, to sit alongside, to offer compassion, to be a friend, so that that little version of you can rewrite the coding of what happened then, to see, I grow up to be this empowered, confident version of me. I grow up to be the one that can reparent myself. And how amazing is that? I don't have to rely on my external world if not all of them are what I need. So here we go. Pulling from the Kuan Yin deck by Alana Fairchild, the card that's come up for us is Princess of the Autumn Harvest, number 22. So I'm just going to read a little bit around what it says here. The Princess of the Autumn Harvest brings gifts of bounty and blessing for efforts and actions of the past. It is a time when fruits of labors is ripe for the picking. A beautiful blessing is on its way to you now. This may come in the form of a spiritual gift, an opportunity, a windfall of abundance, a significant relationship, or an important friendship, and more. With gratitude in your heart, you will recognize the blessing when it comes to you, and it will serve you perfectly. Be open to receive it, knowing it is justly deserved. A divine blessing is on its way to you now. It might be an obvious blessing where your heart sings and your spirit soars, or it might start off as a hidden blessing which leads you to the heart-opening state in a less obvious way. Sometimes we don't realize that we're being blessed because the blessing is in avoiding something that would have caused us unnecessary pain or suffering, distracting us from the path and lowering our vibration for a time. It may only be sometime later that we realize that we were indeed spared. That could have been our greatest suffering. Sometimes we don't even realize how loved and protected we are in precious moments when we're gifted blessing in disguise. To be able to open to receive more blessings in your life, and many are available from the endlessly loving, compassionate, and kind spiritual beings that surround us at all times, we can begin to cultivate a blessed frame of mind. Allowing the Princess of the Autumn Harvest, beloved Kuan Yin in her mode of grace, blessing, and bestowal of gifts, to reside in your heart to help you enter this state. The easiest way to do this is to have gratitude in your heart as often as possible. Even if you're not sure why your life is unfolding in a particular way, imagine that behind every circumstance, the divine hand of your own magnificent higher self, assisted by Kuan Yin, is guiding you deeper into your own bliss. This blessing coming to you is a specific reward for endeavor, effort, and inner work over some time. It will look and feel like something precious that's been gifted to you from a benevolent universe, and it is. Have faith, be open, and receive, beloved. Your time has come. We love this. So let's just take a breath and breathe that in. Princess of the Autumn Harvest. Here we are in the divine expression of boundlessness. We've been working through boundlessness, which reminds us of the beauty of all that is around us. Today is one of those transition days where we're going to shift from Gene Key 35 into Gene Key 45. Gene Key 45 is about the shadow of dominion, the gift of synergy, and the divine expression of communion. This is where we go from that hunger to experience these peak monumental moments into the recognition that these monumental moments are in everything. There is a sacred in the mundane when we stop and we notice it. This gene key also has a lot to do with our society's relationship around power, around food, around money, around how we are resourced. And we are coming into an epoch that's moving beyond these hierarchical systems of oppression that have a dominator dominating a whole group of people. And instead of being so tightly wound by our resources, we're coming into a different epoch of free resource, of fueling ourselves from within through that inner authority that no longer has the struggles over money. This I Ching is about the ending of money, which we know can be a wild concept to take in. We've used money as an energetic currency, but most money is floating around in the ethers. We don't actually have it. We just have a relationship with it. That relationship is currently changing. So 11:11, we always go into our silent portal. So I'm going to invite you to take a couple breaths as we begin to enter this field. From this field, you might like to offer a transmission out into space and time for others. You might like to receive from the field. You might like to just open up and see what's there when you practice a moment of silence. All of it is welcome. So let's go ahead and just begin to settle into our breath. Another cleansing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. So this week we will be navigating into Gene Key 45. As I said, this is the shadow of dominion. This is the gift of synergy, and this is the divine expression of communion. I like to say community is immunity. We are stronger when we gather together. And this was the foundation of what this Gene Key was about, this idea that when we stayed together, we had a higher chance of survival. We could hunt together, we could gather together. When we felt isolated, when we felt separated from the tribe, that's when we felt most at risk of our survival, of our livelihood. And so this is part of what it is to be human, is to be an interdependent creature that thrives in community, seeing community as immunity. So with that said, I'd love to invite us into a group soul. And what this is it's operating in a place that unifies the field. As within, so without, as above, so below. We become stronger together. We unite as one united front together. Whether you're watching this live or you're catching the replay on this in your own divine time and space, this group soul is here for you. It's something that you can tune into anytime. Once you learn this practice of this group soul, I invite you to practice it on your own, in your own family, in your own relationships, in your own groups, and see how when we unite our energetic field as one, we can feel that resource. We can feel that companionship of friendship that is boundless. It goes beyond time and space and can meet us wherever we are, whenever it is, and we can feel the support and the love of the field. So if it feels in alignment, I invite you to close down your eyes if you're not driving, if you don't need your eyes on the road or whatever the case. If you do need to keep your eyes open, maybe you soften them just a bit. Our intention here is to direct our energy inwards towards our breath. So whether or not your eyes are closed, your focus is becoming more aware of how you are being breathed in this moment. Taking perhaps the deepest breath you've taken all day long, breathing in through the nose. Letting it go out through the mouth. softening the muscles of your face, relaxing your shoulders back and down, noticing if there's any clenching in the fingers or the toes, and just relaxing all the muscles in your body. On this next breath, I invite you to breathe right into your heart space, right into that chakra in the center of your chest. And here, I'd love for you to see, sense, perceive, or feel an emerald ray, this emerald light emerging from the back of the heart space out through the front of the heart space, like a Care Bear stare. Beginning to add the field, the energy, the living consciousness of unconditional love into our temple now. Just taking a breath and feeling that unconditional love that you are emanating out into the space. And now, using your imagination, I invite you to feel the emerald ray of my heart as it begins to connect with yours. And here we begin to unify the field of unconditional love from my space to your space. On your next exhale, in your own divine time and rhythm, I invite you to breathe right into your ajna. This is going to be that space between the brows, the space of inner sight, the third eye. And here I invite you to see, sense, feel, or perceive this indigo amethyst ray coming right in through the back of the ajna and emanating out through the front of the ajna. And here we add to the field that we've already cultivated of unconditional love, and we bring in living infused wisdom, this akashic field of memory, of essence, this ability to turn on our soul light and see one another clearly, soul to soul. Once you feel that indigo amethyst ray emanating out of your ajna, I invite you to feel the connection of my indigo amethyst ray from my ajna as it begins to connect with yours. Our web is growing from unconditional love to living infused wisdom, gathering into the space as two living consciousness streams. Beautiful. And on your next exhale, in your own divine time and rhythm, I invite you to breathe right into your soul star chakra, right into your crown. Just above the top of your head, I invite you to feel this diamond light coming into your field now, activating this vertical pillar of light. Now here we've already opened up the ajna, the place of inner sight, so actively use your imagination. What does this diamond light look like? Perhaps it's fractals of a rainbow and you're seeing all the prisms of color. Maybe it's gold or it's silver. How is the refraction of this diamond hitting you in this moment? We're opening up the celestial and the galactic realms, all the benevolent beings, ascended masters and angels and guides who wish to assist us in this moment. And we allow that diamond light to cascade all the way down through the vertical pillar of our energy field. Allowing it to come down over the ajna, meeting with that living embodied wisdom of the indigo amethyst ray. Allowing that diamond light to coat the throat chakra, the place of authenticity. Allowing this diamond light to warm and saturate the heart chakra, meeting again with that field of unconditional love through the emerald ray. Allowing this diamond light right into the solar plexus as it meets this golden place of divine will. Allowing this diamond light to come down through the belly, through the womb, through the sacral, through this place of fertility, of creativity, of sexuality, coating, juicing up the organs there, and then feeling this diamond light as it comes down to the root chakra, the space of belonging, of communion, of community. And now allowing this vertical pillar of light to extend all the way down the legs, through the soles of your feet and down into the crystalline core of Pachamama. And you're feeling yourself floating now in this vertical pillar of light that you have created, of unconditional love, of living embodied wisdom, and of the warmth and saturation of this diamond light that is so filled with the wisdom of your ancestors, forwards and backwards, your guides, your angels, your higher self. And here in the space, we allow ourselves to multidimensionally travel. As above, so below, as within, so without. We've cultivated the safe space for us to multidimensionally move in rapid time, boundless and spaciousness. And here I invite you to travel to connect with your higher self, to connect with the timeless flame of your origin. And notice any guides that are present here. Any images, sensations felt in the body, or messages that want to be shared with you in this moment of receivership. A deep breath as we receive from the field. And here, as we actively turn on the observer, we become the observer. I invite you from this place of observing to notice your human self, the beauty, the compassion, the radiance of your human self and everything that it's gone through to be here. And I want you to send some of that unconditional love from your emerald ray chakra into your human self. Sending that indigo amethyst ray of the ajna into your human self. Allowing your full body to feel that diamond light and that warmth and saturation into your human self. And just noticing what it's like to reparent yourself, to love up on yourself, to resource yourself. And on your next exhale in your own divine time and rhythm, I invite you to breathe right into your cauldron, your belly space, your womb space, your sacred seat of power. And feel yourself arriving fully into this moment. Allowing all of your senses to be online. Allowing again any images, any sensations, any messages to come through. And again, just giving reverence to your human self. And from your human self, giving thanks to your higher self for all the times that it's been showing up for you as that friend, as that beloved, as that one watching out for you, that one that you can call on anytime. Recognizing that it's our free will choice to pray, to call on our angels and our guides for assistance when we need it. We are never alone. But because we are humans incarnated here in the physical form, we also get to exercise our free will. So if we're not asking for help, we may not receive the help until we ask, until we pray. And when we open that field and we do ask and we do pray, that help is always so available to us. Like our guides are waiting around. I hope she calls me in. I hope she prays to me today. This is synergy. This is working with the invisible realms, the quantum field. This is communion. Creating union through communication with all of our guides. So from this place, I invite us to call forward our intentions for our time together. As always, we align with the highest and greatest good for ourselves, for one another, for all living beings throughout all time, all space, and all dimensions. And as sovereign beings, we ask choice to come forward. As our second intention, we invite choice for every living being throughout all time, through all space, through all dimension, beginning and ending with us. As I mentioned today, we are in a navigating portal of shifting, transitioning from Gene Key 35, shadow of hunger, gift of adventure, divine expression of boundlessness, into Gene Key 45, shadow of dominance, gift of synergy, divine expression of communion. So here with our eyes still gently closed, our body relaxed, still feeling held within this vertical pillar that we've created of unconditional love, of living infused wisdom, and of diamond light. I invite you to take in a deep, slow breath and just allow your body to settle. I invite you to take this moment to feel the earth beneath the soles of your feet. Feel the breath of spirit as it moves through you. Feel the pulse of your beating heart. And in this moment, with your imagination active, I invite you to reflect on the places in your life where you have been searching. Where have you been searching for answers, for clarity, for certainty? Where have you been seeking the next adventure? Wanting to jump forward into the next chapter? Where have you been seeking a moment where you will feel complete? This gene key that we've been navigating through this past week of hunger, it's not a mistake. It's a part of our soul's longing to remember itself. Every adventure, every triumph, every heartbreak, every detour, every prayer, every loss, every single miracle has brought us here into this now moment. And here we arrive together at this particular threshold, at this juncture of time, when this adventure gives way to synergy, where this boundlessness gives way to communion. And in this place, we are invited to no longer ask, what can I get? But rather, what can we create together, synergistically? Let's take another deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just taking a moment to imagine us all sitting around a circle together. Imagining all of us gathered here who are in the field now, and here who will watch the replay later. Just acknowledging all those physically present, acknowledging all those joining from afar, knowing that we've cultivated our group soul so we can all drop into this energetic of communion, the unified field of presence in any moment. We honor those who have come before us. We take a moment, we honor all of those who will come after us. And here, using our active imagination, coming back into the remembrance of this unified field that we created, I invite you to see the invisible web that connects all of us. We're connected through the emerald ray of unconditional love, through the indigo amethyst ray of living embodied wisdom, through the fractals of a diamond and rainbow light. We created a tapestry together, a web of interconnection with all living beings. And let us remember that within this web that we've created, this group field, this unified soul, that no one of us ever walks alone. Here, I invite you to notice that every gift that you have received through all of life came in some form through relationship. through relating with the other. Every lesson, every teaching, every meal, every breath, even our oxygen connects us with the trees. Every act of love has been shared. I love the quote that says, "One became two simply for the joy of becoming one again." Creator divided itself into two so that it could express love and it could feel the experience of giving and receiving love through every moment, through every experience. So in this moment now, as we practice the gift of communion together, I invite you to say to yourself, either silently or aloud to yourself, I release the need to control. I release the need to control. I release the illusion of separation. I release the illusion of separation. I release the belief that I've got to do this on my own. I put down the burden of thinking that saving this planet, saving the world, saving one another is all up to me. Because I remember that I'm part of a living tapestry. And that when I do this work for myself, that is what ripples out into this tapestry. And if we can all do the work on ourselves, then we are healing humanity. It's not up to us to try to burden ourselves by thinking that we can do it all on our own. This is why I choose to pray every day. It's why I choose to call in the assistance of my angels, of my guardians, of my guides, of the ascended masters that wish to assist me, because it's not up to me to try to do it all alone. That would be burdensome. That would be dominion of me trying to control the entire universe and taking it all on. So instead, I release that control. I release that belief that I must carry everything on my own. Let's just take a moment, another breath here. And here you might like to say to yourself silently or aloud so that your cells can hear it, whatever feels most in alignment for you. I welcome synergy. I welcome collaboration. I welcome the wisdom of the whole, of my holy family. And if it feels in alignment, I invite you to imagine this golden flame emanating from the center of our circle. This fire belongs to no one, and yet it warms every single one of us. It emanates out so that we can feel it. We can feel nourished by it. And around this sacred fire, I invite you to imagine every single one of us bringing in our own sacred medicine, which is completely unique to every single one of us. Some bring in their stories. Some bring in their medicine through their wounds and how they've been alchemized. Some bring in their medicine through their cities, their gifts, their prayers, their presence, their essence. In the circle, there is nothing that is missing. There is nothing that is extra. Every single thread that we imbue this circle with is necessary. This red string that unites us. Here we acknowledge that every one of our voices is sacred and is meant to be heard. And as we sit around this metaphorical sacred fire gathered in community, I invite you to allow this fire to begin to grow a little bit brighter. And here, just resting in this field that you have grown, that we have grown together of communion. Maybe perceiving it, feeling it in our bodies, in our field as a higher frequency, as a higher octave. This communion is not just sameness, it's authentic remembrance. The remembrance that beneath all appearances, we are one life expressing itself in our varied, our many, our interesting forms. In this field, in this frequency of communion, we are one shared breath. We are one heart. We all to come together to bring my story, which is the collective mystery. Let's go ahead and just take 3 breaths in this field, this living consciousness stream of communion. May you know that your life is an offering. May you know that your gifts serve the whole. May you remember the sacred power of togetherness. As my sister says, to gather. May hunger give way to adventure. May adventure become wisdom. And may wisdom become communion. May communion reveal the boundless nature of love. And aho, and so it is. Taking another breath here. For me, this threshold that we're sitting in is very alive for me. At almost 40 weeks, 41 weeks pregnant, I've been sitting in this place of acceptance, radical acceptance. The programming partner to the week's gene key that we've been navigating through, shadow of hunger, has been shadow of impatience. So I've felt my own impatience around desiring to hold my baby in my arms and thinking, when is this adventure going to happen? You know, this expression of moving beyond time and space into this place of boundlessness. This is where this soul exists right now. And it's been the greatest adventure to be a vessel for this life. And I know this adventure is coming to an end. And as I sit at the threshold, I remember that it's not about my timing. It's about the co-creation with this child for him to come in during his divine timing. It's a co-creation of creating the field that he feels safe and nourished to come into. I can eat all the dates. I can drink all the raspberry leaf tea. I can do all the body work. I can practice all the yoga. I can do all the visualization. I can keep looking at the calendar. But ultimately, it's a co-creation. I can't dominate his timing. I can only synergistically communicate with him and trust that he will come in exactly the right moment for him. And so it looks like this gene key 45, this might be the field that he comes into, which is the codon ring of prosperity. This has within this codon ring the gift of artfulness, the divine expression of invisibility, gene key 26, a shadow of pride. Pride we can look at as being proud. We can also look at it as the lion pack, the pride, the family. This communion is all about family, about tribe, about coming together synergistically as one, co-creating as one. So thank you for being on this journey with me. Thank you for sharing your heart, your medicine, your presence, your energy. As always, we like to gather our energy and emanate it out into the field as part of this group field. May we feel the love that we are, and may we receive it back into us. So if it feels in alignment, you might like to rub your hands together, generating this energy from within. This energy is not sourced outside of you, it's sourced from within you. And on the count of 3, we're going to blast it into our space here. I'm going to share this loving energy with others. 1, 2, 3. Whoosh. And synergistically, just feeling this connection to all things, this unified field, this love emanating out from our fingertips, recognizing how much of this Maya is about the Mani, manipulating matter with our fingertips, sending love and light out into all places and spaces in the world that need it. And now let's receive it back into the chalice, giving yourself back that love that you are, knowing that the more love that you give, you'll never deplete yourself, you'll never run out. What you give, you so generously also receive. So as we go into this next week, this current of synergy, of communion, may we remember that we walk together, that we are never, ever, ever alone. And in any time that you're feeling restless, unsure, chasing those peak moments, may we see the sacredness of all things. May we feel the harvest that's all around us when we call in our guides and we ask them for help. And may we know we can always come back into these recordings to go through those attunements together, to activate that field. That field now exists between all life, throughout all time and all space. Just by breathing into your heart, into your ajna, into your crown chakra, you can activate that vertical pillar of light. We can multidimensionally travel beyond, reminding yourself it's safe to go home. It's safe to be here now. It's safe to go home. It's safe to be here now. It's safe to go home. It's safe to be here now. Thank you for being here. Sending you so much love. Hopefully next week, I'll have a little baby in my arms. Namaste.